Everyone, namaste. Now, this is an opportunity to practice with clarity and renewed perspective. This is time to examine our ideas about who we are and what we wish to become. But it requires total honesty to understand what is limiting us from achieving our full potential. Be inquisitive and open to new perspectives so that you can grow and flourish in the year ahead. Self-reflection and discernment will clarify your goals and intentions so that you can make wise choices for the future. And we'll take some centering breaths to add clarity. Illumination. Understanding. And a broader perspective. One of the reasons I think travel is so valuable is that it helps us broaden our perspective of humankind. So we can have a mudra that will help us promote ease and meditation and deep contemplation, increasing mental powers and concentration. Just place the left palm in front, face up, and the right palm on top, overlapping the fingers. Then the tips of the thumbs will come together and touch. Breathe, focusing inwardly. The fire in the thumbs enhances inspiration as we connect. The fire also helps us burn away anything that's not serving us. Begin on our feet with some exercises for joints and glands. Promote whole body wellness and health. You don't have to be an acrobat to do yoga. Just moving with awareness, breathing, a sensitivity. So first, circling the head, and just move the nose like you're following the minute hand of a clock, inhaling up to 12, and exhaling down to 6 o'clock. Taking one complete breath for each revolution, so that you can feel each part of that movement. And when you complete the next revolution, you can change direction and circle the opposite way. Just taking one breath at a time. Keep the back nice and straight, shoulders back. Good. And then touch the shoulders with the hands. Begin circling the elbows, lifting up with the inhale, rolling back and down on the exhale. So there's no rush. You can be sensitive and aware of each part of the movement. Maybe hearing some sounds from your shoulders like I do. Oh, grumbling I hear in my shoulders. All right. Excellent. Let the arms rest and swing the arms from side to side. Nice and easy. Very good. Hold on to the hips and do some hip circles. Again, there's no rush. Just feel where your body is today. Work with it wherever it is today. And when you feel it's time, reverse the circles. Now, stand on the left leg, lift the right heel, and circle the knee. You can do this with the foot grounded or lifted up if you want to balance more. And doing the opposite circles. You're getting that. Now switch to the second leg and toe touch with the left foot. Just do some easy circles here, moving the ankle, the hip socket, and reverse circles. All right, that's fine. Now, inhale, lift the arms, reach. Again, interlace hands behind the head, arch back into the hands, open the chest, look up. And on the exhale, look down in front, bring the elbows forward, gently stretching the back of the neck. Continue that flow with your breath of arching back on the inhale and rounding forward on the exhale. You're doing great. Now keep bending forward, bend the knees, slide hands down to the ankles. And here we're just walking the knees, straighten one, then the opposite. The head and hips might want to move around too, that's fine. And come on down to the mat and lay on the back. And if you have a strap, put it around the arch of the right foot, lift the right leg up, or simply interlace the hands behind the right thigh and press the right thigh forward into that. Let your head and shoulders rest. Shoulder blades flat. Inhale, soften the knee. Find a good alignment. And on the exhale, straighten the knee. Feel the stretch in that leg, the hamstring. Over a series of breaths, see where your body allows the stretch to go. Can back off on the inhale. Make sure everything's comfortable in your body. And then test your limits of flexibility on the exhale, engaging the muscles that you're stretching. Long, deep breaths. Gently release right leg. Switch to the left side. Strap around the left foot or lifting that left leg to clasp behind the leg or holding around the ankle or binding the big toe. And find a place where your breath is easeful. But your body remains strong. And let the left leg rest down by the right. And lift up both knees for a hip opener. Cross the right ankle over the left knee and open the right knee to the side. You can just push it wide with your right hand. Or if you like a deeper hip opener, lift up the left foot and thread the right arm through the legs so you can begin to pull the left knee into the chest. Rest your head and shoulders on the mat. Let the arms lengthen on the inhale and gently tighten on the exhale, beginning in the abdomen, in the hips, in the shoulders. So there's a pulsation of easing up on the inhale and testing your flexibility on the exhale. With more muscular engagement. Bigger breaths means you can stretch deeper. Okay, and switch sides. Let the right foot rest on the mat. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. So the left knee opens wide. Or try and bring the right knee in towards the chest. Clasp around the leg with your hands. And with the back, shoulders on the mat, bring the right knee closer in increments. Taking complete breaths. Good. Finishing this side. Rest the feet down. And interlace the hands behind the head for some abdominal strengthening with the bicycle movement. With the exhale, cross opposite knee to opposite elbow. And inhale, lay down, switch sides, and exhale, opposite knee to elbow. So you continue that pattern with your breath. Waking up those muscles in the core. Good, you're strong. You've got this. You do this every day, I bet. And rest the feet down, relax the arms to the side. You did very well. Walk the heels up close to the buttocks for a bridge pose. Keep feet hip width apart and parallel. Now arch the lower back by pulling the heels up towards the sit bones and press down in the elbows and feet so the sides of the hips will lift up. Your hands can boost the hips and buttocks up higher. Or clasp the hands under the back Squeeze shoulder blades under and lift the chest up. Keep the chin up. Inhale, hips higher. And exhale, squeeze. Hold that. Two more breaths. The bigger the breath, the better the pose. And when you're done, release the hands, lower the buttocks, and open the knees so soles of the feet are touching. Let the weight of gravity open the knees, or add some gentle pressure with your hands on the thighs. Adding a little pressure as you exhale and engage the muscles in the pelvic floor and inner thighs. And relax any pressure on the inhale. You can take a complete breath in and a long breath out. Adding to that stretch gently, pressing, holding. Good. We stretch the inner thighs. Now for the outer thighs, lift the knees up and widen the feet to the width of the mat. Now we're going to tilt the knees to the right. And feel a stretch in that outer left hip and thigh. And deepen that stretch if you choose by hooking that right heel up on top of the left knee and pinning it down. The left arm can stretch up and away the opposite direction, so you're lengthening all that along the left side. And release to switch sides. Lift the knees, tilt the knees to the left. And if you choose to hook that left heel on top of the right knee, press it down while reaching the right arm the opposite direction, lengthening the right side of the body, stretching that outer hip. Taking complete breaths in and complete breaths out. And rest, knees back to the center, and hug both knees into the chest. Massaging the back as you rock gently side to side, or circle the knees, whatever feels good in your body. Now, for fun, just rock yourself up to sitting and turn over onto hands and knees as we come to table pose. Okay. So, we'll try a little balance on the floor. So balancing on that left knee, reach the right leg back and lift up. And strengthen the core so that you can lift the left arm and reach it forward. Lovely, perfect. Another full breath, reaching and resting, hand and knee down. Then stretch the left leg back and lift the left leg up. Balance on the right knee while you balance on the left hand and reach the right arm forward. Keeping the hips and shoulders level. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Connect and strengthen on the exhale. Last breath as you reach. And now resting, hands and knees down. Well, walk the dog, lift up the knees and walk the knees. So we're just moving around, finding our way. And stepping the right foot forward to a lunge, lower the left knee down. And lift the hands up to the right knee when you're ready. Relax the shoulders. Focus and muscular energy into the core of the pelvis, pulling the legs under and lifting up in the pelvic floor. And lift up the arms. Yes, perfect. Invite the breath into the pose. It becomes a part of the pose, helps you create beauty and grace. Now bring hands down for a twist. And keep that left hand down and twist to the right side. And lift up the right arm. And rest the right hand down. Begin to straighten the right knee. Move the foot forward first and then lift up the toes. Take one breath at a time. Deepening on the exhale. Tighten. Relax on the inhale. Open. Inhaling to new perspectives. Greater awareness, more clarity of your intentions. And exhale, releasing out anything that's holding you back. Old habits, patterns of thought that are self-limiting. And let's switch legs, step the right foot back. And walk the dog again, lifting knees, and straightening one leg at a time, giving your hips and shoulders freedom to dance around however they want. And as you're ready, step the left foot forward, lower the right knee down. Steadiness with muscular energy in the core, and ease with calm, deep breaths. These are the main elements of asana described by Patanjali. Steadiness and ease. And now rest, hands down. Keeping right hand down, twist to the left side and open the left arm up. Perfect. Yes, you've got this. And lower the left hand. Move the left foot forward and begin to fold forward. Lift up the toes and soften the knee. You can align the hips, the shoulders, straighten the spine. And as you exhale, tighten the tummy. Squeeze the knee up and fold. Be generous with the breath. Filling yourself with the breath, adding positivity, broader awareness, more illumination and clearness. All right. Releasing, we'll just step that left foot back to our downward dog. The knees lifted and the hips pressing back. This time, soften the knees on the inhale as you relax the shoulders. And on the exhale, lengthen the arms, straighten the legs, and stretch in the spine. Rest and lower the knees. And now sit back towards the heels in hero pose. Toes point straight back behind, shins hugging into the midline. Press the tops of the feet and the toenails into the mat so the muscles are still working in the feet. And the chest is open to breathe. The head, neck, and trunk are all in a plumb line over the hips. An option is to recline in Supta Virasana and walking the hands back, bending the elbows. Now, deepening the stretch in those thighs as you lay back. And then working your way back up if you're down so that you can straighten the legs once more in downward dog. Pigeon pose, we'll swing the right knee forward behind the right wrist. Walk the left knee back to lower the hips, but keep the hips level, the outer hips hugging in towards the core of the pelvis. Good. And when you're ready, moving down to the elbows. And a calm, deep breath. Lengthening the spine on the inhale and hugging into the core on the exhale. You can stay down or lift up for a thigh stretch. Lifting the head and shoulders, bend that back knee. And then bind hand to foot to bring that heel towards your hip. And if you're hugging into the midline, keeping your balance, lift up the opposite arm. thigh stretch. We'll switch sides and step the right foot back into downward dog. Now, swing the left knee forward into pigeon. Slide the right knee back. Inhale, align, and exhale, connect to source, strengthen to the core, and carefully, slowly, and mindfully enter deeper expression of the pose. Or add on to the hip opener with a thigh stretch, and to lift up the head and shoulders, bend the back knee, and bind the hand to the foot. And then I'll spin my elbow up and get a little better leverage to bring the heel closer to the hip. And then you'll try and balance and lift the opposite arm. Take rest when you're done too. Step back into our friend, downward dog. And now we'll bring the shoulders forward over the wrists. Come to plank pose. Stay in plank, or bend the right knee, touch the right elbow, and step back. Switch sides, knee to elbow. And after you've done a few sides, lower the knees, rest in child's pose. You've earned that. Expand with the inhalation. Sink down with the exhalation. Inhale like you're on the top of a mountain. You can see far, far, far away. You have that super perspective. Clear sky, you can see forever. It's like the full moon last night. You could see everything in the moonlight, clear as a bell. Okay, we'll come back to table pose to perhaps experiment with arm balance. The right foot stepping forward so that the right elbow and shoulder inside the knee. Okay. And then straighten the back leg so you're in a deep lunge. And the right elbow sticks out to the side so it's underneath that right thigh. The right foot inches forward. Wait a minute, there it is. And you lean forward so the back leg can lift up. Now I'm resting, because that's hard. I'm going to try it on the second side. So start kneeling. The left arm inside the left leg. Bend the elbow, lower the chest. And then stick the elbow out to the side so it supports the underside of the left thigh. Now inch that left foot forward. Lean forward and balance on that left upper arm so you can lift both legs. When you're tired, which doesn't take long, you rest. Take a good rest. So, come up to stand. And just rest at the front of the mat. Now, step the right foot back for warrior one and bend the left knee. Turn the outer right hip forward and draw the left hip crease back. Now the hips are parallel to the front of the mat. Hold that alignment, strengthen the legs, and go for it. Warrior one. Great. Enliven the pose, fill it with the breath. Gorgeous. Now rest the arms and lean forward. Warrior three, toe touch with the back foot, and find balance so you can lift the back foot up. Lengthen the spine. Keep breathing. Focus. And step back to warrior one. Congratulations, you're alive. You survived. And you rest the arms. Switch legs. Right foot forward, the left foot back. And first, just find a steady, solid stance with your feet. Engage core strength in the hips and pelvis. Venture deeper with the breath. Fabulous. Warrior three, reach forward, toe touch with the back foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, balance. Strengthen. Breathe deeply. And step back to warrior one. And rest. You did it. Good work. Step it up. And let the arms rest. The breath even. Smooth. And deep. And if you need water, drink water. Alright. We'll try chair pose. Utkatasana. And with the legs close together, bend the knees, squat down with the hips. And then lift up the arms. Lengthen on the inhale, deepen on the exhale. Try and go a little lower with each breath. Last one. And deep down. Good. Fold forward. And exhale, straighten the knees. Inhale, soften the knees. And exhale, lengthen and straighten. Now, standing up, lift the arms, touch the palms overhead. And exhale, let the arms rest. Gather focus. Gather your breath. And try another hip opener from standing. This is one-legged chair. Across the right ankle, not getting very well started. Right ankle over the left knee and balance on one leg. Okay. And if the hips are more open, go deeper. Hold that foot and knee like you're cradling a baby. And ultimately, keep cradling while you stand up. Okay, and that's all there is to that. Simple. Let's take a breath in. And exhale, fold forward. Letting that go. Inhale to chair pose. Balance on the right leg. And help that left ankle cross over the right knee with the hands, holding it there, keeping it steady, squatting lower. Holding the shin with hands or linking the hands around the outer shin. And then, oops. Maybe not today. Come back to stand and just relax for a breath. Good. That's all we need to do there. But we're going to squat down. And you may want to widen the feet, turn the toes out, and then lower the hips down to a deep squat. Hug the knees in against the arms. Try to balance here without the hands. Good. And bring hands down, walk the feet back to downward dog. And bring the shoulders forward, plank pose. And lower down through cobra, knees, hips, chest. Hug the legs to the midline, tuck the elbows in, and roll the chest up to cobra pose. Pull the shoulder blades down. Good. And now add a little twisting movement. And the hips rock from side to side. And that's perfect. Then lift up to table and swing legs forward to sit with legs out in front. Move the sitting bones back and apart. Draw the lower back in. And press down with the heels to keep that alignment from sagging in the lower back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold forward. Just let the hands fall wherever they will. The crown of the head reach forward, but the shoulders drawing back and in. Inhale, expand, lift as needed. And exhale, deepen, fold, contract. Over a series of breaths, find your natural physical limit without forcing. Lift up to a straight back. Open the legs to a wide angle. Once more. Spiral the inner thighs down and back so the lower back can draw in and the chest lift up. Now, with more space to breathe in the front side of the body, you can lengthen on the inhale and fold on the exhale. Lengthen with the inhale, spread the toes, lengthen the legs, and then engage strongly in the core as you exhale. You're doing so well. Keep chest open, shoulders back. And one more full breath. Getting to your deepest expression. And then rise, lift up to a straight back. Keep looking up there, that doesn't help. Go head to knee pose. Left leg forward and the right knee bent to the side. And get both sitting bones to balance on the front edge of the sitting bones. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold over the left leg. There's a slight tuck in the chin so you're not pinching the back of the neck, but there's still fullness in the chest and the shoulders are back and relaxed. Inhaling and exhaling complete breaths. When you're ready, lift up to switch legs. Right knee straight, back straight, and then left knee bending to the side. So first roll, back straight. And then with the breath, begin folding forward. It may be incremental, just a fraction at a time. Letting go of the old breath to make space for the new. Just as we let go of old limiting beliefs, habits, or patterns, make space for new, more positive and beneficial patterns to emerge. First, we must be clear with our intentions. So our intentions are what produce our actions, and these actions produce samskaras. And these samskaras are impressions, subtle impressions left in our mind, residing there, building up over repetition to create grooves, really, that we're stuck in. Okay, we'll lift out of that stretch for time to rest. Bring us down to the back and invert the legs. And laying first on your back, lift the knees, press the feet down, and slide the backs of your hands under the buttocks. So you can sit on the back of your hands. Make it easy to lift the legs and straighten them to the sky. So there's ease and relaxing any muscles that don't need to be engaged here. The toes, the soles of the feet, the ankles. So you can just let your breath settle, your mind sort of slow down to watch the breath flow. And the touch of breath in the nostrils. If you'd like another style of inversion, we can lift the hips higher and tilt the legs up and over the back of the head into a plow position, halasana. Then removing the hands from behind, bend the knees in towards the shoulders, and roll the back down flat on the mat for happy baby, Ananda Balasana. Just feel your inner child, how it wants to play. Explore a little movement, a little fun, maybe a giggle or two. And when you're ready to lower the feet down, walk the legs out, lift the arms up over the head, and take a full body stretch. Spreading the fingers and toes, the arms, the legs, stretching every little muscle in the hands, and the feet, the wrists, ankles, and the hips, shoulders, back and head, the face, mouth, and tongue, stretching everywhere you want to. When you're finished stretching, let your arms rest down by your side. The palms face up for Shavasana. But put on any additional clothing, blankets, or accessories to make your Shavasana more enjoyable and relaxed. You can begin to stretch and rest and relax. And thank your body for all the work it put into this practice. And invite your body now to relax and let go of that effort. Because you don't have to work anymore. There's nothing to do but be present with your breath. Now, to quote from Pandit Rajmani Tigunit, samskaras are the subtle impressions of our past actions. As long as we are alive, we continuously perform actions, but actions that we perform with full awareness are the ones that make the greatest impression on our mind. In other words, it is the intention behind the action that gives power to that action. Each time the action is repeated, the impression becomes stronger. That is how habit is formed. The stronger the habit, the less mastery we have over our mind when we try to execute an action that is contrary to our habit patterns. When our habit patterns become so ingrained that they alter our body chemistry, it's called addiction. When they become strong enough to alter our thinking process, it is called samskara. At this stage, we no longer remember when or how this process started, and without introspection or attentive power, we fail to discover the realm of the mind where these samskaras are stored. And when our mental world is totally under the influence of these powerful impressions, they become determining factors of our personality. And due to these samskaras, we perceive the world in our habitual ways. The contents of our mind color our perception of ourselves and others. Even when our discriminatory faculty, the intellect, is colored and we spontaneously and effortlessly think, speak, and act in accordance with these colored perceptions, then the samskaras have become vasanas. Now, we have little choice but to see ourselves and the world in accordance with these potent impressions from our past deeds. You can clearly see that these samskaras and vasanas are our own creation. If we commit ourselves to inertia and make no effort to discover an alternative, then these subtle impressions of our past deeds will have the force of destiny. To those who lack self-trust and self-confidence, destiny cannot be altered. But it is because destiny is alterable that swamis, pandits, gurus, priests, and others are alive. Yes. What he concludes is, So he describes that there are two approaches and then a third approach. One is to reduce or eliminate the negative samskaras, and the other side of the coin is to increase positive samskaras, or some combination where you do both. And as a practical tip, I advise that no matter which practice you wish to do, whatever your intention, make sure that you perform your duties joyfully and selflessly, and share a portion of your fortune with those who are less fortunate than you. This selfless act will automatically attenuate your negative samskaras and infuse your mind with motivation to do something further that is good and auspicious. Once this process begins, the momentum towards self-transformation will continue to increase. Another interesting tidbit Panditji says is the Gayatri mantra is for cleansing the mind, while the Mahamrityunjaya mantra is for nourishing the mind. Then there's those practices which engender both effects in a balanced manner. So I will end with the Gayatri. Om Bhurva Swaha Tat Savatur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om. Now begin to deepen your breath so that you can awaken, move, and roll over to your side when you're ready. Awaken your mind, conscious of this place, this time, with more clearness, clarity, and illumination about your intentions and goals. Now, come back to an easy seated pose. I want to thank you, everyone, for your presence and for your practice. Namaste.
Namaste.